TunePocket.com.
Falcon fans around the nation, around the world, it's Dirty Fanatics United, and we back with episode number 28 coming at you live from Baxley, Georgia. I'm with my co-host Philip, as always. Philip, how we doing today, brother?
Disappointed.
Very, very disappointing Sunday. Definitely not what I woke up thinking was going to happen. Philip, we talked about it before the game. We gave our little thoughts about what we thought could happen on our Facebook Live. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to head over there. Give us a like and a share. If you're new to the YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share. Just push us out to other content creators, other Falcon fans that you know to help this channel grow. Philip, we talked about it, and we got a lot to talk about today. But we talked about it before the game, and it just seemed like today was just not the day as a whole team all around. I don't think we were prepared coaching wise. I do think we were out coached. A lot to talk about today on DFU. Philip, give me your thoughts real quick on how your Sunday was watching your Dirty Birds go down to Tennessee and come back 4-4.
It was a little disappointing at first. Noticed seeing what we could do, but we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The constant blown, blocks, and then the turnovers and certain things like that. It just killed everything. And then certain call. I mean, I'm not going to say every call is always going to be the case, but we all know. We've been there. We saw it. Certain things caused this game to be what it was. That's all.
No doubt. No doubt.
We just, other than that, a few players went down on defense, and we just, I don't know, it's like it killed us mentally. I guess, I don't know, but we just wasn't the same full defense without them few players. But we got to get back, and we got to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, and as you say, we got to get ready for the next one. The next one on the list isn't any easier with a Minnesota Viking team that has seemed to pick up their stride here midseason like any other good football team would.
At quarterback.
With an injury, with Kirk Cousins being injured today. Philip, you talked a little about, our defense was just so sloppy today when certain players went out. And it seemed like today was just the day that we had everybody banged up. Drake London out with a groin. Grady Jarrett out with a knee injury. And for rumors say, Philip, that Grady Jarrett was hurt last week and played through the injury. So maybe this is why you have those trade rumors of Montez Sweat coming to Atlanta. A lot to talk about today here on DFU. Before we get started and we start talking about our subjects for today. Today we'll give you a rundown on what we'll talk about. We'll give you some Atlanta Falcon news and updates around the league scores, NFC South Division, today's notables, player of the game. Desmond Ridder benched or injured. Defense hurting without Grady Jarrett. When do we find our identity as a team? And then we'll talk about some trade rumors. Philip, man, to start it off from the top, dude, let's give him some Atlanta Falcon news and updates. As we do know, we've already talked about it a little. Grady Jarrett out with an apparent knee injury. Went back for x-rays, never returned. As Philip said, we did seem to struggle once Grady was on the sideline. Philip, just your thoughts on Grady being hurt. He's such a big piece of this defense. How do we overcome if we're out with Grady for a couple of weeks?
You just got to be, honestly, it's like any other team. We can't make excuses. You just got to be the next man up. Or, like in the rumors, if it's true, which came from some highly, trustful sources, but we could possibly get Montez Sweat for a third rounder, trade him for a third round. But other than that, though, we just gotta step it up a lot. Mid game, certain things like that happen. You're not, you have certain players that you have in. You don't think, and you don't just on your mind all the time. Oh, injury. So we were part of it. I feel like we wasn't really prepared for it. But if you knew he was injured from a week ago, you probably should have prepared.
Yeah, 100%. Uh, Philip, we talk about the defense and Grady Jarrett and how big of a piece he is. Today, it very much showed. Um, there was a lot of places where Grady wasn't there because he was hurt and we couldn't get no pressure. That just shows the double team that Grady Jarrett takes on as a defensive tackle, nose guard. Grady Jarrett is a beast, and we're definitely going to miss his presence. Hopes he bounces back pretty soon. Maybe we can make this a long season and he gets back before playoffs, whatever it may be. Philip, real quick, man, we're going to do a roll call check. Shout out to Camilo in the chat. Shout out to Stormy Sab, Elizabeth Yan, my boy Jesse Shea. Shout out to each and every one of y'all and everybody that's tuned in on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Real quick, we're going to hit the chat, man. We got a couple comments here. Alberto Molino said, man, this one hurts because now we have a QB issue that seems like the season is failing or falling. We barely escaped the Bucks game. Philip, your thoughts on Alberto's comment here?
I mean, I kind of agree. It's in a way, it's not just for the team; it's the fans as well. It's separating everybody from. You got those few that want Ritter. You want the few that want, Taylor Heineke. But in my perspective, I'm gonna just put it this way. I respect Desmond for 100% fully. I respect anybody's opinion on him, and I do think he can be our future. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think he's 100% fully ready. Give Heineke the season for a little bit, for the season. Let him sit behind somebody. He didn't really have that mentor. No shame to Marcus Mariota, but let's just be honest. He wasn't that 100% mentor that Desmond needed. Desmond's more of a pocket passer more than what Mariota was. And someone like Heineke can kind of teach him certain angles and certain things.
Heineke has played playoff games in the NFL.
And certain things experience.
Just real quick for Alberto, man, I will say the QB issue, I don't really think it's an issue. I think our QB play is keeping us from being the offense that we should be. I do think that Arthur Smith is 100% seamed in on Desmond Ritter. He said it today that we didn't bench Ritter because of his play, that they benched Ritter because of an injury. Today, CBS did say that Desmond Ritter was under concussion protocol. They did say he cleared his test, but there were another time that they actually took him back one more time to the locker room, and then he was out on the field with just his ball cap on. So I don't know the full extent there. We don't know. Maybe he really did have a concussion, and that's why he was benched. Arthur Smith and Terry and everybody else that's in the building, I think they know and they do what's best for this team. But, Philip, there comes a time, man, when we must question our coach, Arthur Smith. The play calls, man, it just seems – I put it like this, okay? You either got a really bad quarterback problem or you really got a bad coaching problem. Okay, right. And the reason why I say this is, and I'm not even going to ruin Phillips Avis Avenue, but the reason why I say this is because you can compare stats from the first half with Desmond Ritter to the second half with Taylor Heineke. Right. There's really a lot there to look at, and I don't know if that's from Arthur Smith not scheming for a young quarterback like Ritter, because I've always said coaches are the ones that ruin people's careers. They don't make it easy for younger quarterbacks. And I'm not saying Smith's not making it easy for Ritter, but I feel he may be asking a little too much of Ritter at this time of the season. Atlanta Falcon fans want to win now. And I know Arthur Smith knows this. I know Desmond Ritter knows this. And as well as Taylor Heineke. Anybody that's a backup cannot sit there and tell me that if they had the chance to run that offense, they wouldn't get it and go. That's just the mentality of an NFL player, the mentality of, a dog. And if you don't have that mentality on my team, I'm sorry, but I don't want you. Real quick, headed to the next comment here in the chat. DSGB Hall said, what's up, Chase and Phillip? Overall team effort is a L. From the defensive to the offense and special teams. We wasn't ready. Hopefully we will win. We will be next week. Phillip, real quick, man, key on what Mr. Ernest Hall had to say here. Just your thoughts.
I 100% agree with everything said in this comment. Altogether, we just wasn't ready. From, we come out, boom, big play, and then but you made big plays throughout that first drive. That one, sort of our first drive, we forced a fumble and then got the
Right.
ball.
Right.
Made it a dangerous.
But then you still, even after recovering the fumble in your red zone, you still could not.
Still failed in the red zone.
Yeah, you could not score in the red zone.
So,
Philip, don't mean to cut you short, bro, but as I agree 100% with Ernest as well. The whole team is an L. You talk about special teams. I believe the stat before halftime is we started in our own 20-yard line or in our own 15-yard line more than 4 times in the first half. So 3 or 4. So, I mean, that there, special teams, man, the stupid decisions by Keith Smith to go back and catch that ball and that kickoff, all the way to Mike Hughes of letting things just bounce around. I don't know, man. Something's got to be done, Philip. I've been calling for Mike Hughes' head the whole season. You as well. We've talked about it a couple of times here on DFU. I don't know what we need to do, but there was a couple of times they put Scotty back there. Why not? Why aren't we throwing the glue man D Alfred back there? That's a whole nother conversation for a different subject here on Dirty Fanatics United. But DSGB Hall, man, I appreciate your comment. Preston Sapp in the chat said, "Rise the Fook up." Shout out to you, Preston, bro. Next chat here, he said, "We have an incompetent coach that has no created at QB issue for the media to jump all over, and a defense that underperformed one game. All fans are panicking, which is also sad." Philip, your thoughts on Preston's comment?
I agree. I mean, there's a lot of positive things that came out today, but it's not what we for our hopes. It wasn't what we wanted, but there's also a lot of positive things. You like, especially today, there's plays. We've made plays at the second half. There's plays that can get us down this field and score, or the defense can step up at the right moment. We've seen it all year with the defense. The defense really, I can't be upset with the defense. Offense, on the other hand, you've had so many turnovers throughout these 7 weeks. We got to get it together, man. Like, come on, boys. We're at the top of the division and it's barely scraping it. That's not what us fans want. We're not, it's not like we're, discouraged or anything like that, but we want more. And we know they can do more.
Well, Philip, you talk about wanting more, man. We haven't made the playoffs since 2017, my guy. After so long, fans are going to want a playoff game. And at the QB play that we're having right now, the coaching play callings that we have right now is not going to get you to that playoff game. You're in a tight division with the Saints at 4-4 as well today, winning against the Colts. The Colts are our ass team anyway, but I mean, they still are right there neck to neck with us for the first place in the NFC South. We must take advantage of where we're at and what we have now while it's still early. We still have a bye week to come up. Hopefully, we can get healthier by next week. We got a big game against Minnesota. We definitely, Philip, want to win that against the NFC South or NFC rival.
Especially with Kirk Cousins out for the season with a torn Achilles.
Oh, he's out for the season. I didn't know he was out for the season.
Well, what I seen was a torn Achilles. So
if it's that, he's out. No doubt. Shout out to Terrell Johnson, man. He said hashtag rise up. Always, baby, rise up, rise up. Philip, while we're here, man, while we got the chance, brother, let's go ahead and head on down the road. Hop on in the truck, brother. Let's head to Avis Avenue.
What's good, baby? We was in your city, but we just didn't pull it out today, baby. But it's all good. We gonna come back. We gonna bounce back. We got to. We strong. As this franchise, these fans, we tough, baby. We tough. Starting off, I'm gonna go with Desmond Ridder for the first half of his playtime, which wasn't bad stats if we really being honest. Des went 8 for 12 with 175 passing yards, with 3 carries, 26 yards, and 1 passing touchdown. It ain't bad at all. Could have been some of the turnovers could have been helped from, you know, offensive line doing their job.
Right.
That's my take on that, on one of them. But we're gonna move it on to the second half. But you know, second string Taylor Heineke, he went 12 for 21, 175 yards as well, with one touchdown as well, but with 2 carries and 14 yards. Moving on, we have Bijan Robinson, the legend, the height. My man went for 11 carries for 62 yards and one touchdown. So he's
Philip, real quick, I want to talk about Bijan's one touchdown. That play there, man, we've been doing for quite some time now, and it just seemed like Taylor Heineke opened up that offense today and really got the run game started, man. You know, it made them respect the passing game. Taylor Heineke really came out there today, man, and did what he needed to do as a backup quarterback to even maybe, you know, make his statement for a team next year in the NFL if he's not with Atlanta. But I really do think Taylor Heineke has a bright future ahead of him, and I do think he could be a starter in this league.
I, I respect him 100%.
Continue on with your stats, brother.
Next, we're going with Drake London. He went 5 receptions for 55 yards before his injury. You know, he possibly could have had more targets with Taylor Heineke, but sadly the groin injury hurt him and hurt us as well.
Very much so. The something else you could point out on the offensive side of the ball, Matt Collins really wasn't active until after the second half with Taylor Heineke. You didn't see him much. You've seen Van Jefferson. A lot to talk about with Van Jefferson. But Philip, continue on, brother.
Next, this is a name that rarely gets called out here on Avis Avenue, and that's Kadero Hodge. 3 receptions for 75 yards, almost took it to the house.
Shout out to Kadero Hodge, man.
Getting outside, he could have had that touchdown, but hey, you did your thing, so I'm not complaining. And the next up, this is a guy that started off hot in the first half, and then second half, I didn't really see much of him neither, which was Kyle Pitts. I don't know. It was kind of concerning a little bit. I don't know what's going on. It was a little 3 receptions for 35 yards.
Still nice stats for 3 receptions.
For sure. But it was just a little concerning not seeing him.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially a top 5 pick, Philip, at the tight end position. That's very rare to see. And you're getting 3 receptions out of 35 yards, man. Is kind of hurting as a fan to see that. You know, you took him that high for a reason. This is no knock at Kyle Pitts, by the way. Arthur Smith, I'm on your neck. Make some plays for that man, dude. You took him at 4 for a reason, bro. Make it happen.
But that's all I got for Avis Avenue. Back to you.
Shout out to Philip, man, for what he's got going on at Avis Avenue. Always bringing the facts and the stats. New little subject we got going on. Philip, while we're talking about some quarterback play, man, let's go ahead and talk about it. Desmond Ridder, was he benched or was he injured? Your thoughts on today's game from Desmond Ridder, and going forward, what do you expect from Ridder?
Coming after half, I did notice. I mean, it did look, his eyes did look a little hazy to me a little bit, but I'm not so sure if it was from concussion protocol or what. But I did notice a little haziness there, but I'm not 100% sure if he got benched or just, you know. But if that's the case, you know, seeing what Heineke has done, and no knock off the Dez, because I still believe he could be our future, 100%. But I feel like let him sit and evaluate a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're young. He's a young cat, man. Got plenty of years.
Still another year on the contract. Still a low-paid player.
And just certain things. Just on the sideline, evaluate what's going on out there. Reading certain defenses and stuff like that, and then other than that, I just think he's gonna be fine. I truly do.
Real quick, man, headed to the chat one time for the fan in the chat. Said disappointing loss today. Falcons seem to be unprepared for for the Titans and on different levels. Need to come out faster next week, and I don't care who's at quarterback. Need that W.
Amen.
100%. I said it earlier today. I don't care who's back there. Just get me to the playoffs. I need a playoff so bad. Shout out to One Time for the Fan. Said rise up. If you haven't already, man, head over to One Time for the Fan. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to share them, boys. Like I said, If it wasn't for them, man, we wouldn't be where we at now on Dirty Fanatics United. So much love over there on that side. Real quick on YouTube, Travis Preston said, Travis, we feel your pain, brother. If you haven't already, man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that share. On the road to 1K. Philip, after last week, man, we hit over 5 subs. So I want to give a shout out to all the new subscriptions from last Sunday that came over and showed us some love. So definitely want to gain new subscribers, man. We're at 238 on the season. Definitely want to hit 1K, man. So help us reach our goals. Philip, headed to the next subject, man. Enough of the Ritter talk. I don't really care to talk about it too much because I'm really, really upset with how today turned out. I didn't really want to see Ritter benched, but it happened. We can talk about it all day, but it's not going to change the fact of there's an elephant in the room, and we've got to figure out what's going on that offense because we're too far in the season now to not have it figured out. Today, yes, we did put up 23 points. We did put up over 17 points, which is what we were averaging on the season. So something there worked. Was it the Taylor Heineke move? I don't know. Was it the ass chewing at halftime? I don't know. I wasn't there. But there's a lot to think about when it comes to this game, man. And Smith said himself, Philip, real quick, go ahead and throw that up while we're talking about Desmond Ritter. Let me pull this picture up. Bear with me for just a Instagram. Atlanta Falcon Nation, I believe that's who posted this. They said in his post-game preference conference, head coach Arthur Smith stated, "We got a lot of confidence in Dez. We didn't take him out for his performance issues. That's why Taylor's here to be able to come in as a backup and give us a shot to win." Smith later doubled down on Ritter remaining the starter, saying he was throwing the ball pretty well. We got a lot of confidence. That's why he's our starter. Hashtag Atlanta Falcons, hashtag Atlanta Falcon Nations, hashtag Atlanta Falcon. Philip, your thoughts on Arthur Smith's comments about Desmond Ritter still being your starter going into back in the bins against Minnesota. They travel well. They're going to have fans there. Real quick, I want to add on, man. I feel like Ritter lets the fans get in his head. I feel like when that stadium gets loud, I think that's why we have such a shitty road record right now because there's a lot of environments in this NFL, Philip, that are very hostile. We've seen it in New Orleans. We've seen it in Atlanta. People coming to visit Atlanta.
Minnesota.
Hell. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, that you must do as fans as well to help your team win. And we must pack the bins. I know it's not the year we were expecting. We're still 4-4 on top of the division. It's not the end of the world. Philip, headed to the next subject real quick, man. Defense hurting without Grady Jarrett. We talked about it a little bit. I don't even know really what else to say, bro. You came into the game with Grady Jarrett. Before the game, you took Grady. You put Albert Huggins on the inactive list. Tay Davis was today as well. And then, so when Grady went out, London came in. And then when London went out, I don't even know who was in. I think we have a depth problem there, Philip.
When he went out, we rotated Calais Campbell from the edge, put him in the middle with David Onyemata, and then we also had London as well until London got hurt as well, and then we brought it, on the edge. We brought in rookie Zach Harrison.
Okay, I did see that. Okay.
Other than that, I don't remember. After London went out, I don't remember who.
Philip, and another thing that kind of gets at me, bros, Clark Phillips III. I was really hyped for him, and he's only been active one game this whole season. The kid was a pick machine in training camp. I know that's only training camp, but I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a lot that we could look at it coaching wise. A lot that the fans and the media will be talking about. So there's a lot to be looking at for in the media for the next couple of days. They're going to be talking about the Ritter situation. It's going to come up in every press conference. So like I said, man, just keep your eyes peeled. And another thing, man, if you're a Falcon fan, do not text me talking about drafting the quarterback in the top 10 because I do not want to be in the top 10 next year in the draft unless we're trading and get to that spot. I want to be about in the 20 area. I don't want to be that low. I want to win now, man. And with the money we spent on defense, I think we've got to win now. So whatever you got to do behind Grady, you got to figure it out because we want the W's. One time for the fans said on the way back from Tennessee, man. Shout out to one time for the fans. Shout out to the Rouse Up Tour. They threw a nice little party this weekend in Tennessee for all the Dirty Bird faithful that travel with the Rise Up Tour. Jacob Moore in the chat said, "Rise up, rise up." Anthony White in the chat said, "Very disappointed about today." Anthony, you and a whole bunch of people, bro. Appreciate your comment, man. Hit that like, hit that share. If you haven't already, man, head over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook tuning in, head over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, man. We greatly appreciate it. Philip, something that the whole world will be talking about until next Sunday. This play here, my guy. This play here. Chat, get active. Let me know what you think. Was this offensive pass interference? Was it offensive hold? Let me know your thoughts on what happened here. Philip, if this play is called back, we win the game today.
I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. After today, I kind of lose respect for D Hop. You wanted to get active all day. He was shoving Terrell like it was nothing. You can't tell what they're saying.
Pulling him in, pulling him off his route.
This same play, he yanked him by the nameplate and threw him out of bounds.
Yep.
And then they pretended like it was clean.
Yep.
Man, there was another one on the other side where he was in the inside of his jersey, in his pads, and they didn't call it. I mean, something's got to be done with officiating because in a way, it didn't take the whole game, but a lot of it today, it did kill a lot of it today, especially with the picked up flag from our pass interference.
Yeah, the deep ball from Van Jefferson, I believe it was. Well, not only that, Philip, let's talk about Van Jefferson, bro. That there in the fourth quarter, coming back to hopefully have a fourth quarter comeback with Tyler Haneke. Van Jefferson on a 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. Nice little 5-yard pass, wide open, nobody around, and Van Jefferson folds the bag. He is a new player here in Atlanta, so we don't want to hurt on him or hype on him too bad. You know what I mean? But it is tough. It's tough, and I know he was pretty upset about that as well. Seen him on the sideline, pretty beat up about it. Philip, real quick, your thoughts, man. We was talking about the D-Hop situation, but we can't do shit about flags. We gotta prepare better as a team, and even though we are feeling quite like this today, you gotta be faithful through it all, man. It's tough. It's tough at times, but still a Dirty Bird faithful, man. Real quick, roll call. Shout out to Jacob Moore, Mokel Eason, Jacob Moore, Shannon in the chat, Tyler Adams in the chat, Terrell Johnson in the chat, Jack Spade, Preston Sapp, one time for the fan, DSGB Hall, Camilo Avalo, Stormy Sapp. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. We greatly appreciate it. No reason why we shouldn't have about 20 likes on YouTube. So go on and hit that like button, hit that share, and hit that subscribe. Real quick, headed to the chat. We got a couple more comments. DSGB Hall said it was an offensive PI. Just felt like AJ still should have tried to play it through. Philip, what did I say as soon as that play was over with about Terrell when I text you on Snapchat? I said Terrell has got to finish that play. Even if it's a flag, quit looking for the flag. You got to finish the play. He kind of just stood over there with his arms like this. Even though it was very, very noticeable, you still don't always get the flags in the NFL, and you must play all the way to the whistle. Philip, your thoughts about DSGB Hall's comment here about AJ?
I'll say that again, my bad.
No, I was just saying your thoughts on DSGB Hall's comment here about the offensive PI and how Terrell didn't finish the play.
I agree. You don't always get the penalty, but sometimes when you do, you still try to finish out the play. You know what I mean? We could do a lot better on, instead of showing out a little bit. Oh, we didn't get the penalty,
right?
On the field, right? Just finish out your play, whether it is or not. It could be crucial because sometimes there could be another penalty on the field somewhere else, and they could cancel that out. You know what I mean? Just certain situations, you got like he said, you got to finish it through, and I agree 100%.
100%, man. Shout out to DSGB Hall, man. Always active on the live chats. Uh, Falcon fans, if you're here, man, if you're tuning in, I want to know, is Arthur Smith on the hot seat for you? Or is Arthur Smith safe? It's the midpoint of the season. There's a lot at stake right now for these Atlanta Falcons. Philip, real quick from you, man. Just as of now, is Arthur Smith on the hot seat? Falcon fans, tune in. Let me know.
Not necessarily the hot seat, but some things is starting to make me question him a little bit. Just certain things with play calling and then the repetitiveness in your word choice of words. We get it. You want to do better. Prove it to us.
Right.
Show us.
100%.
We're tired of hearing the same exact thing over and over and over. I will still respect you. You are on the team, and I will rock with you till you are gone. And I'll but till then, do better, my guy. Because I know you can. Definitely know you can. We've seen it some games this season, the first two. We know you can. Just show us.
Yeah, I agree there, Philip. I don't necessarily say that Smith is on the hot seat right now. I do think if you come out here and you lose to the Vikings and you get on a losing streak, then Arthur Smith's pants are starting to get a little warm. I think you got to win these next few games, man. I think you need to win out to bye week. You need to go ahead and dominate. And that go ahead and brings me to my next subject, Philip. When do we finally find our identity as a team? It's week 8, bro, and we still haven't found it.
At this point, I don't know if they want an identity or not. I don't know. Me personally, I just want to win, honestly. Whether we find it or not, just win any way you can. Whether it's pretty or not, it's football. It's not always going to be pretty.
Right.
We can't be, us as fans, can't be a little selfish on that and want these blowout scores. Like I said today, I thought it could have been a 31-14 score. They proved me wrong. We just got outplayed and outcoached in certain things, and they made it 28 points today to our 23.
100%, man.
So
I agree 100%, dude. You look at the whole game today as a whole, man, and it's bad. The whole game is bad, but it's not too bad.
Right.
There's still people that came out there today and competed. And that brings us to our subject, the players of the game. Philip, you know how we do it. Give me an offensive player, give me a defensive player, who stood out to you and really keyed on to be that leader today here in Tennessee.
I'm gonna just say it, man. I'm gonna give it to Taylor Heineke on offense. He came in and done his thing. I mean, that's not knocking nobody down. He just came in and just filled in. It wasn't like he was coming in trying to replace somebody. He was just doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
And whether anyone likes it or not, you got to respect it. You know what I mean? He wasn't there to, I'm taking your job. He's got to do what he's got to do. And that's his fans. We got to realize that too.
100%.
So I'm giving it to Taylor Heineke.
Nice. I'll go ahead and give you my offense before you get the defense. Offensively, I could agree with you on Taylor, bro, but for the fans, man, I'm going to give you one more, and it's going to take me a little second to think about it, but I may say Scotty Miller coming in clutch late in the game, getting the touchdown in the back pylon. Nice ball by Taylor Heineke to put it in the pocket.
Cordero Hodge.
Cordero Hodge as well with the 70-something yards on the game. His big performance today. All in all, man, today I just think was a trap game for the Atlanta Falcons. Philip, real quick, your defensive player, and then I'll give you my defensive player.
Defensive player of the game. Let's think. That was tough. I'm going to give it to David Onyemata. Despite Grady Jarrett falling out, and notable mention could be Calais Campbell. Them two stepped up.
That's mine, Calais Campbell.
Without Grady, Grady takes up most of the double teams and still gets back there. Despite him going out, David Onyemata and Calais Campbell also stepped up big, the veterans that they are. So you could go.
Shout out to Bud Dupree too, man, coming off of the injury list to play today. Still got pressure. I know he wasn't 100% today. So shout out to Bud Dupree, man. Really a good signing there on him. Terrell Johnson in chat said, man, what's the injury update on Grady? We'll know more about Grady tomorrow around the press conference. All I know now is Grady came out in the first quarter with an apparent knee injury. was carried back for a X-ray.
He was
Was back there for about a good hour in the X-ray room.
he was finally ruled out. I think the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, he was officially ruled out by the end of the third quarter. He was questionable all game. So I don't think it's good, man. It's never good to see your star like Grady Jarrett come out. The year they finally get Grady help, hopefully it's nothing too bad. Maybe, prayers up to Grady. Hopefully it's nothing too bad at all. But we really hope to know more about Grady Jarrett tomorrow. Well, let's see here, man. Running to the next subject. We about to run out of subjects here. Philip, real quick, man. Let's talk about the trade rumors. Today we were heard around the league that the Atlanta Falcons offered a third-round pick to the Washington Commanders for Montez Sweat. Philip, your thoughts about that move? If it was to happen, what does that mean here for the A? If it doesn't happen, do you see us trying to make another quick trade before the deadline?
If you say we make this trade and certain things with Grady, you could make this trade and say if Grady isn't fully injured long term, just for a few weeks or so, that gives him. That's a player notable right there that you could bring in, and definitely it's no slack at all. It's a beast. That could give him time to heal. Also, with the mix of David Onyemata, Calais Campbell, Bud Dupree, Carter on that edge, I could go on. It would be a big blessing, and a lot of people want sacks. He can get you his sacks. I mean, so what the heck? Even the players on the team still can, but we're putting pressure. That's what we need mostly is the pressure, and then he can fall in that line and definitely do the job if Grady is out, or both of them in at the same time. Grady comes back. That'd be a great sighting. I would love to see it. If we make the trade, I'm all for it.
Real quick, man, while we're here on Dirty Fanatics United, be sure to head to the description on YouTube at Bonfire. Check out the merch. If you do happen to buy merch, it sends a notification to my email. You will be entered in a chance to win an NFL Atlanta Falcon jersey or a game day ticket if we reach 10 people before the end of the season. If not, it will just be a jersey of your choice, and we'll buy it here at Dirty Fanatics United and email it out to you. So be sure to go to Bonfire. We got shirts, we got sweaters, we got hoodies, we got hats coming soon. More for Dirty Fanatics United, just a chance for us to grow and become a bigger channel here at on YouTube and etc. We've got a couple of people that's already supported us, and we greatly appreciate each and every person that's supported here for Dirty Fanatics United. Philip, with that being said, man, that's about going to wrap us up for tonight. We'll give our shout outs real quick, and we'll get on out of here.
We start with me first.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
For starters, shout out to everybody that's in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that's reached out to us from this past week. We have dealt with a passing in the family to our Mima, of course. So shout out to everybody that reached out to us. We appreciate everybody. Appreciate the love. Shout out to the boys. Gotta do better, man. We gotta pull out these wins, but as always, we're gonna rise up, and that's all we can do, man.
Facts, like the boy Philip said, aka Avis. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the Dirty Bird faithfuls. Shout out to everybody that's subscribed here to Dirty Fanatics United. Without y'all, man, we don't have a podcast. So we greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all that's kept us going all the way to episode 28, man. Getting close to episode 50, Philip. We getting on up there, man. So definitely gaining subscribers as we go. We definitely appreciate y'all. Shout out to each and everybody that's reached out to me and Philip, man. We greatly appreciate y'all. Like Philip said, Mima went to be with the Lord Saturday night, so we greatly appreciate everybody that tuned in and just left a comment or direct message to us. We greatly appreciate y'all. Up in the sky watching above us, man. So shout out to Mima, shout out to the Dirty Birds, and shout out to all y'all, man. Shout out to you, Philip. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We got a couple more comments here. Before we head out, man, we can't forget Miss Pam. She said, hello, Chase and Philip. Miss Pam, we greatly appreciate you tuning in. Please hit that like and share. Sadly, we are getting ready to close this thing out. We greatly appreciate all y'all, man. As always, this is your boy Chase and your boy Philip from Dirty Fanatics United, man, getting ready to close this thing out. As we always say, A-Town down.